What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at you with another video, man. And today, man, I'm going to talk about the news that the Carolina Panthers are expected to release quarterback Cam Newton, yo, and my thoughts on them releasing him and where I think his next move should be. Before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on Instagram, send me a friend request on Facebook. I'm gonna have my Instagram and my Facebook information down in the description box. Come give me a follow on the gram. Come send me a request on the book. Come holler at your boy, yo. Obviously, this is something we seen coming, man, basically since last season. There's reports last season that, Carolina, was going to be looking to move on from Cam Newton when the season was over. They basically gave the starting job to Kyle Allen, and early on, he looked pretty good. Was looking very accurate out there with the football, very decisive. And then obviously the wheels fell off, as the season got deeper and deeper, and they realized he ain't really the franchise guy. They just traded him to the Washington Redskins. Then they rookie Will Greer went out there, and I mean, it was not a pretty sight. So, which has Carolina now in the top 10 pick in the draft. Ron Rivera gets fired. He's now in Washington. Luke Kuechly retires. They heralded, everything, middle linebacker. Thomas Davis was with the Chargers last season. He with the Redskins now. And then they went getting Matt Rule. They got Joe Brady from LSU to call the plays. And they just signed Teddy Bridgewater, yo. A guy who's very familiar with Joe Brady, from the time they spun together in New Orleans. Which basically means the end of Cam Newton in Carolina, yo. They tried to trade him, but obviously, both teams, the teams couldn't, whoever the teams were, apparently it looks like it was either LA or Chicago, couldn't agree. So, he's going to be a free man, yo. And it just goes to show you, man, the NFL is literally like not for long, bruh. Just like a few years ago, the 15 season, Cam Newton was the MVP of football, man. Cam Newton was the MVP of football, and it wasn't even close, man. Like, Cam Newton was dominant that season, yo. Leading this team who just lost at the time their number one receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, to an ACL injury in training camp. I mean, for crying out loud, his number one wide receiver target basically was Ted Ginn Jr. He had Tim, he had Greg Olsen, he had Jonathan Stewart running the ball, but he didn't have like a plethora, he had I think like Philly Brown, like he didn't have a plethora of weapons like that. And Cam Newton just had an amazing season. Obviously, we know how good he is as a powerful runner, but he threw the ball very well that season, yo. They lost the Super Bowl, obviously, to the Denver Broncos, and they made the playoffs, I think a couple of years after that, a year or two after that season, but it just never got back to that point, man. And the main reason has been injuries. He had a shoulder injury. The season before last, Carolina jumped out to a 6-2 record. He hurt his shoulder, was never the same, and they missed the playoffs. Last season, in the preseason, he hurts his foot. Basically, plays a game, like 2 games, and then that's it, he's out for the year. I mean, it's injuries, man. When Cam Newton is out there, Cam Newton is a superior talent. Now, granted, he's not the most accurate, let me say this. He's not the most consistently accurate quarterback, though he was pretty doggone accurate his MVP year. But, man, the guy is amazing, man. The guy, obviously, he could run. He got a big arm, and he plays with just a lot of swag and a lot of confidence. He's a guy that could galvanize your team, bring your team together, and have a lot of fun. I mean, he made Migos hotter than what they already were with the dab. You know what I'm saying? So, it's sad to see, man, but this is what happens in sports, man. A guy is an icon for a team. He is amazing. He's great. And then eventually the end comes, yo. And in Cam's case, he's still relatively a young guy. He's not very old. He still has a lot of years, ahead of him, man, if he could just stay healthy. Carolina, I get it from their standpoint. They pretty much, they got a new rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator. They bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. This team basically is in rebuilding mode right now. All the veterans, like I said, the Cams, the Luke Kuechlys, the Thomas Davises, what's his face? Josh Norman, you know, all these guys, Julius Peppers, all these guys, man, that Greg Olson, all these guys, Jonathan Stewart, they all gone. All these guys that were veterans, that was the core of this team, are all gone. So it's a total rebuilding mode, for the Carolina Panthers. And they gotta, Cam gotta, basically get let go. So stuff to see for him out there, man. He did well for that franchise. Obviously he should have his name in the Ring of Honor over there one day. As far as his next move, man, there's teams like Jacksonville, there's teams like, the Patriots, maybe Miami if they're not really considering a rookie. I think the best place for Cam Newton, man, is the Los Angeles Chargers. They struck out on Tom Brady. They made a strong push for Tom Brady. He chose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously. I think that the Los Angeles Chargers should go after Cam Newton. Now, now they don't have to give up an asset for him. He's out there. He's going to be on the open market free. You just sign him. The reasons I think it's a good fit, man, they got a good young tight end in Hunter Henry. Austin Eckler, is a really good solid running back. Keenan Allen's a very good wide receiver. Mike Williams, is a good wide receiver. Got a lot of potential. Defensively, they got some players on defense, man. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram and those guys, Derwin James on the back end. This is a team that's ready, to compete. I just think Phillip Rivers last season had a terrible season. And I think this team, if they could stay healthy, they got a lot of nice pieces, man, to really make some noise and get into these playoffs. And I think Cam Newton is the missing piece for them, to get this team to reach its potential. And not to mention, man, it's LA. Like, Cam Newton, we all know, man, Cam is a star, man. Cam is a star on the field and off the field, man, with the fashion and everything. He seems Hollywood. Cam got Hollywood written all over, man. And them going into that new stadium, Cam Newton would be a great face of that organization. It'll be nice to see, man. Not to mention, man, it's something that we rarely see also in the NFL. Honestly, off of the top of my head, I can't really think about about when we seen it. You would have an African-American head coach with an African-American quarterback in the NFL. Like I said, off the top of my head, I can't really think about when the last time that happened, if it's happened. It probably did more recently than I think. My mind just blank right now, but man, that would be cool to see also, man. My African-American head coach with an African-American quarterback in LA with a good team, man. And Cam will be motivated, coming off of those injuries. Basically Carolina said, hey, we giving up on you. We looking in a different direction. If Cam could go out there and stay healthy, like I said, with those weapons he have with the Chargers, with those players they have on defense, they got a top 10 draft pick. They could probably, add to solidify the offensive line, or maybe even add another defensive player, or maybe even add another weapon for Cam, They would be in a good spot, So I feel like, Cam Newton should end up with the Los Angeles Chargers, man. To me, it makes all the perfect sense in the world, But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have Philadelphia Eagles and NFL content throughout the year. Also, this coming Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to do a live Q&A. Y'all can come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, Y'all should join me. It'll be some good stuff. Until then, y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.